Welcome to the Pirate Broadcast. And we are going to jam out tonight, Sunday night jam, having a conversation with somebody special. I'll bring him in a moment. However, I just want to make sure that you have an opportunity to ask questions, join in, make comments. I'm going to be doing these not necessarily every day like I used to, or every day of the week like I used to. And I'm not necessarily going to be doing them at 7 a.m. in the morning. However, I do want to make sure that I get a rhythm down and start sharing some information that you want to hear about, that you want to learn about, and what is interesting to you, because you're the reason I'm here. And I really am passionate about helping more people help more people. And I believe that kindness is cool and smiles are free. And the reason I do is because there have been so many opportunities where it just took a little bit of encouragement, a little bit of incentive to move forward on something. And tonight we're going to be talking about moving forward on some things, making sure that we're doing some of the things we want to do, some of the things that we can do, and a few specific goals that we have in place in order to accomplish and support others that are on the journey to doing something amazing. Now, the reality is that we can do a lot on our own. However, we could do a lot more with other people. So I want to join in and have you, I want to have a conversation with somebody that I've known, admired, and respected for years. And I just wanted to make sure that you have an opportunity to learn more about this individual, make sure that you have connected with this individual, make sure that we can learn something new, fun, and exciting from this. And I will be interrogating him fully tonight with the idea that we can actually do something amazing together. So put a big round of applause together for Mr. Gabe Leal. And the idea that we're going to be doing some things, we're going to be doing some things together. And I just want to welcome Gabe to the party. How are you this fine evening?
Woo! Doing good, man. Doing good. Hello, fine folks. How are you doing this wonderful Sunday evening, afternoon, night, wherever you're at?
Yeah.
Love the opportunity to come on here and talk about all the wonderful things that are going to be happening around what you've started already creating. And then just how like somebody like me can help enhance that a little bit. I think that's where I'm looking forward to having these sort of conversations and bringing out a lot of what we're working on. Like we got our lab coats on. We just got our little beakers and microscopes and just seeing what we can create, man. That's the whole idea behind it. So yeah, we might be doing it with a microphone. With the microphone and a camera, but yeah, we're still here like creating. We're still doing things a little bit differently. So absolutely, this is what it's all about, man, and putting all these things together.
Well, and we have known each other for a while now,
Yeah.
Gabe. And I think the one thing that I really want to stress is that people may or may not know this, but we've helped each other in the background many,
Yeah.
many times.
Plenty.
And we've both been through, creating some incredibly valuable information,
Mm-hmm.
and also putting enough out there that we've received and experienced a little bit of burnout on occasion.
No,
Not gonna lie.
Absolutely.
There have been occasions where it's like, okay, and like in February, I couldn't do it. It's like, okay, I'm gonna have to reset, refresh, and recover. And there's just enough things going on in my life at that point in time where I just put it on pause. And it's not that I stepped away from social media and completely. However, it did shift a lot. And I know that one of the things we were both talking about before the show started was this idea that you have to come back, you have to pace yourself, and by recruiting other people in your community to support that is going to make it a lot easier for everyone. So having those resources in place, I think, is absolutely critical in how we think about that.
Yeah, and
So
that's the whole point of.
expand on that a little bit, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, and exactly to your point of like building out, and so sometimes you do need to walk away, right? You do need to go and recalibrate yourself. However, you have to go do that. Whether it's taking a social cleanse away from social media for a while, whether it's whatever that is for you. Everybody has to. Everybody does this. Even in your career, you know what your vacation is? When you're vacation and you have a job and you've been working a job, you want to take a vacation, that is time for you to get away and recalibrate yourself, and then and go back, and then again you're back in working mode. And so for us, a lot of it has been the same deal. It's just we as content creators put a lot on ourselves, and this is why structurally it's really important to do what we talked about here in building out a very well organized um, community of individuals who you the thing about building out a community is the community should survive whether or not you're there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you as a community leader is important, but then there's also other individuals that can also step into those leadership roles who can help in times of like this, of saying, hey, I need to step away for whatever reason, but I entrust the other leadership here and the other people inside of the community will step up and help keep this thing going beyond just me.
Right.
And that's the whole point of why, like, wanting to do this and finding individuals who might want to help step into a lot of those leadership roles and give yourself the flexibility to step away or to relinquish some of control or whatever you want to call it, to saying, I don't have to be in charge of here. This thing will exist whether I'm here or not. And that kind of tells you like the strength of what your community is.
Well, I think not only that, I think it's also when you need assistance and support from your community
Mm-hmm.
to either take your place or add or enhance some of the things you're doing, or just honest feedback. Just,
Mm-hmm.
hey, I'm doing this thing. What do you think about this? You know, and it's this circle of information that you can actually bounce things off of. And having a community is really a powerful tool. And I think it's important for people to understand that we have an opportunity to build this out. We have permission. You know, you don't need permission. That's the whole point of the prior broadcast is you already have permission. Just take the initiative and go out and start this thing. So uh, we talked about several things. So are there anything specific that you think we should share today on this collaboration journey?
Absolutely. Of course there is. You know, I'm always going to have something to say about this, because here's the thing about wanting to not only build out a community or build out any kind of content with an intention in mind, is that you want to find first of all, you want to find your voice, then you want to find the audience who your message is going to resonate with. And then that's when you start creating content, right? And you go from just creating content to becoming a content creator. And then at that point, you have usually people that follow along and love what you have to share. Then how do you start making those individuals that show up there all the time inclusive in what you do? You engage, you start building out community, and then you start allowing some of those people that are there to help you, build an idea of like what a community should look like, should feel like. And that goes along the lines of also what you mentioned is relying on those other people to help you, give you feedback, help you. Because in that, as a content creator, that also helps you like figure out what things are working and what's not. And you can say, okay, look, I've been talking about live streaming now for 3 years. what are some of the things that you guys see that maybe I haven't covered at some point, or bringing in other creators who might have different ideas on it? What do you think that would be? Whether it's like learning the background, the backside of it, of learning how to do the whole booking process, and how do you build that out, or whether it's the in production camera part, if it's the build out. So wanting to learn how, like, well, how do I build out the overlays? How do I do the intro videos? How do I do this? Or whether it's in the back end of the production, whether it's how to take these videos, edit them down, how to make micro contra, distribute all this stuff out here. So, that's where you rely a lot on your community to kind of guide you, like what content do you think is going to be the most valuable to you? Because I want to help you learn this based on all the experiences that I've done. I mean, I know how to do this. I don't have to, but I want to help. And one of the ways that you can help me is that you can kind of help guide, like, where do you want to see this content journey go? So like I said, if it's focusing on one thing, then that's the main focus, because I think you guys are going to want the value out of that, and you're going to want to consume it more and participate in more. So that's where I want to hit, that's where I want to hit, check all the check marks on this is what my community is asking for. Because you can have the authority to do whatever you want, of course, but if it doesn't align with like the people that are inside of your community, then they're just going to start, leaving. They're going to start going other places to find what they're seeking. So, if I were to come on here every day and just talk about monetizing, and then a lot of people are like, well, I'm not really interested in monetizing right now. I want to learn how to actually do live streaming production. What is that? Well, I don't talk about that. I just talk about monetization. So, what are they going to do at that point? I'm going to have to go find other people that can teach me how to do that. So, reach out and trust what your community is, and then you can gauge like where creative wise you can like start putting all of your experiences and the things that you know about that particular subject and put it on a live stream or put it on video, whatever that is.
Well, and you bring up a great point, Gabe, because there's two sides of the equation. There are people that want to be on a live stream. They want to, show up and share their message. It might be monetization. It might be content creation. It might be their business. It might be, funding for a new company, startups, whatever it happens to be. There's a lot of people that have gifts and messages and information that they want to share and produce content with. And there's another piece of the equation that people in the background, like you and I, that have been producing shows, helping others learn how to produce shows and increase and improve their outcomes with their live shows that they're producing. And I think it's important that, if you haven't ever produced a show, there's a lot of moving parts. And each one of those parts could actually be part of a discipline to contribute to a larger goal of, the production of a much larger, maybe more visible show that, people could actually contribute to. There could be graphic artists we talked about. There's audio experts. There's people that actually doing the slides and the lower thirds and the overlays and some of the graphics that go on there. There's a lot of things that can, be part of the contribution process. Mm-hmm. And I think it's really, live streaming is fairly new. It's not a very established industry at this point in time. Television's been around a long time. However, live streaming has its own unique individual nuances, if you will. Mm-hmm. And all of those things, we're starting to unpack a lot of that stuff, and we're starting to unpack a lot of the details. And our goal, and my goal that I've always had, is to help more people. And as we go through this process, we could start out with producers and learn that information, that feedback loop, and get that information back from the producers that are producing, and then teach other people on how to contribute to each unique space in that production process. And I think it's an exciting opportunity for anyone that wants to learn how to produce, wants to learn how to create live streams, and how to also teach other people to create live streams or improve their production skills. And so it's really an exciting time.
Oh gosh, yes. And that's the thing about it is that you kind of touched on it. We're just scratching the surface on it. As people found, I mean, and I got to be honest. 2 years ago, I don't think we're at this point where we are now without the pandemic. The pandemic kind of expedited how people saw the value in what live streaming is and how to connect and doing all these things. I don't think we're at this level of like where streaming softwares have developed and continue to evolve without the pandemic. So without that stuff, that is, Mr. Turner.
Kevin D. Turner.
We were talking about you, or I was.
We were talking about you earlier.
Talking about you today earlier. So, there's a few features on LinkedIn that we know that you do pretty well, and we wanted to.
Well, he's a rock star contributor of the LinkedIn tips and techniques and, things that are getting released all the time.
All the features and stuff that happen because of LinkedIn. If you're not following Kevin, go check him out. He's got really great content based on.
Thanks for joining us, Kevin. Appreciate it.
Sir. Appreciate you. But very quickly, what I was mentioning is that as streaming as people start seeing the value in what streaming is, we're going to start seeing more, not just streaming softwares, but then capabilities and ways that people are going to be using live streaming more and more. We're moving ahead, but we're still I don't think we're at the infancy of it, but we are of where it's starting to expand.
We're in the early stages.
In the public eye and what it actually means. Because when you start seeing more celebrities creating live streams and doing stuff like that, okay, then you start really seeing, okay, now people are starting to see the value of what live streaming is, and it's only growing more by the day. So you start seeing, again, people who are trying to get into Amazon and doing live social selling. How is that advantageous for you in live streaming, and how you can go build out a revenue stream or what you do? So live streaming has grown. To me, it's grown by leaps and bounds. Because we didn't plan on all of this trying to be put into how we operate in our everyday lives, but it became part of it again because of what the pandemic did. So there's still people that use Zoom feeds, and there's people that do find value in what they do with using like Zoom and Loom and Dub and all these other video platforms that you can create videos directly to. But there are, it's starting to develop, and we're starting to see more like live streaming technologies being introduced, which is what I love, because that as a creator, it's only going to give us more ways to actually explore the potential of live streaming. Is because now
I want to dig into that point a little bit deeper, because I think it's important, because we're in it. And sometimes, the pickle can't read the label when they're inside the jar. And so the number of creators that are actually active in producing content on a regular basis on LinkedIn is fairly small compared to the 830 million contributors on, members of LinkedIn right now. And it's really, I think that's accurate. Maybe Kevin, you can expand on that. And thanks for the shout out. I really appreciate you. The other piece of the puzzle is that it's increasing. It's always increasing, and it's continuing to grow. However, as a live streamer, I think LinkedIn has actually looked at the audio streams a little more um, and prepared a little bit more visibility for that based on some of the evidence we've seen. And maybe Kevin,
Mm-hmm.
maybe you can actually maybe speak to that a little bit also in the comments. Is the audio events seem to be superseding the live stream events in terms of exposure. And I'm just kind of curious, what is your experience and what have you had, in terms of evidence on which one and why, and some of the things that are going on LinkedIn specifically?
Yeah. And well, I'll touch on something that he just mentioned there in the comments, but see,
What
at some
happens when
point,
LinkedIn launches native live?
yeah, and that
Yeah,
is something that we're
hold on
on.
to your britches.
Because I think at that point maybe we will see the same opportunities that they're putting into audio
Mm-hmm.
that maybe they'll put into video. I don't know. I don't know example per se, but I mean, how long was LinkedIn the ability to stream using LinkedIn Live in beta? You know, the whole application process and all of that. I mean, how long did it take for them to actually release it? I mean, it's just last year.
Yeah, it's just
Where it
last
became
year.
more mainstream, so people could actually stream on the platform here. Whereas audio events were launched back in February, and now they're readily available for most creators to use on the platform. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know Kevin talked about this when he was on my live show. So yeah, I'm gonna pub my show Unfiltered Live. I do it every Monday through Friday, 8:15 Eastern Standard Time. But when he was on, we talked about LinkedIn sometimes just throws features out. Like he said, they have a feature quota that they have to meet. And maybe, you know, and, you know, again, I understand why, because it is a feature that, you know, is a little, oh, okay.
Well, that's a good point. That's a great point, Kevin. Audio is a conversation where live is listening to a conversation,
Mm-hmm.
and this is what, I don't know if you're around, Gabe, when Blab was around,
Mm-hmm.
but think of Blab as a video version of audio events where you could actually bring people up on the stage on just a automatic basis. It was just like, okay, you'd see somebody like Kevin would show up and say, "Hey, Kevin, you want to come on stage and expand on that idea?" And
Right.
people would come up, and it was great to be able to have that opportunity to actually connect. So, Gabe, it sounds like your audio is a little low. So
Trying to check that out now, see if there's
check
anything
it out. See if you can bring it
going
up.
on. Hello, hello, 1 2 2 1 2 3. Yes.
Next is video events. Think of an audio event with the profile picture being live video.
Okay.
All right.
Uh, I mean, I see the value in that, and how it will be useful,
Mm-hmm.
because you know if somebody wants to, again, in a visual medium, people can actually read, engage somebody's body language, what they're trying to communicate, and you know there's a lot of little idiosyncrasies you can pick up on just by looking at somebody visually.
Sure. It
So
accelerates the know, like, and trust, and is like,
Mhm.
is this somebody I could work with? Is this somebody that I would like to work with potentially?
Right.
And okay, do I want to connect with this individual? There looks like they're a real individual. They're not necessarily a fake profile here.
Right. And you know, and that's the thing about it is that um you know, when LinkedIn starts doing these events like this, you're not going to don't think of it in terms of live streaming per se as it is like having the ability to turn on your camera inside of an event,
Mm-hmm.
because I think there is a bit of a difference. Whereas live streaming is, it's got to go through some kind of encoder to get to wherever it is, whether it's natively through their streaming platform or whether it is through using a third party software. So there still will be a difference in actual live streaming and then like having the ability to have your video event or have your camera on in a video event. So I would love oh, okay. Well, I did
Yep.
pump up the volume.
Yeah,
Can you
you're a
hear?
little light here.
Is it?
That's a
Hello,
little better.
hello. Do I need to be up on the mic a little bit more?
Yeah, just bite the mic.
Just bite the mic. I'm going to be on it.
Get that studio voice going.
Get that studio voice in. Hey. No, but you know, that's part of it is like how all this stuff here, and I'm going to make sure I don't have anything else. I'm going to close out Ecamm too. Sorry, folks. Okay. Because it might be taking my mic from there. All right.
We just decided to jump on, so
Yeah, we just hopped on here and closed off everything.
we're having a good conversation and thought we might as well make it live.
Yeah, might as well make it live. No, but so the point of what we were just touching on is like how the video aspect of when LinkedIn does video. I hopefully at some point it will transition into being able to natively stream here from the platform.
Yeah.
Simply because I think once you have all of those elements here, people might not be as inclined to want to get off the platform and may actually want to do live streaming because they don't have to learn how to use something like StreamYard or Restream. It's just launching it directly from your mobile app, or it's maybe directly from the LinkedIn, from your desktop here on LinkedIn. So
I'd be interested in asking Kevin as well if do you see, because they did stories, and stories are really popular, and Reels and Instagram, and TikTok's doing their thing. They released that on LinkedIn early, and then they took it away. So is this a video in an event kind of being the replacement of that, or do you see that coming back at all, Kevin? Have you heard any word, or is there any kind of a notification? I think it would be really, it would be really nice to have the ability to just live stream mobile, directly to LinkedIn,
directly to the platform instead of having to go through using again a third party source to kind of stream your live stream.
I'd love to get your feedback on that, Kevin,
because that would be as far as like as a live stream creator, I think that would be ideal, and wanting to tell people just start. See, that's the problem that I tell people, like when they're like streaming and they want to get streaming on LinkedIn here, right? You run into two problems on LinkedIn that you got to get out with. Number one is do you meet all the requirements? Do you have 150 followers? Do you have all these other things? Okay, if you check all those off, then you're good. But then on LinkedIn, you have to have a third-party software to stream here on the platform. So some people are like, some people are going to be like, again, some people might be more inclined to say, if I can just stream directly through my mobile phone and turn it on and stream here on LinkedIn, that I would probably do that more often. Just like people go live all the time on Instagram. You don't have to.
Well, the downside of that, though, I think you'd get a lot more noise.
Of course.
And the quality might not be the same.
Yeah. Well, you got to educate people, though, on how to.
Sure.
So because that's the next part about it, then, is if that's available, then you find things to where, as creators like us, we got to teach tutorials now on how to buy a microphone, a lavalier mic for your live stream, or how to actually condense the sound, or how to there's always going to be things for doing that.
Sure.
But
I just want to mention, Kevin says different, not a replacement. It'll be
okay.
Video events will be different and not a replacement for live streaming. So
okay,
good to hear.
That's okay.
Or different than I would imagine different than stories or reels or anything like that. as well. So,
Right. Yeah.
but it's fascinating to me to think, okay, you know, they have an obligation, or they have a requirement for how many projects they're going to release, or new features or things like that. It'll be interesting. Pinned comments are one that's have come up recently, that not everybody has pinned comments.
Yeah.
It's a cool feature. So
Yeah. I mean, I've seen people that have been able to use it. I mean, for some reason, it doesn't always work. It was like the whole bell feature when people first started. They were like, yeah, ring my bell. It will notify you whenever I go live or put new content or whatever on the channel. And then that wasn't always the case.
yeah, Kevin
You know.
says stories may come back as part of native video.
Okay.
And then he
Nice.
says also stories are asynchronous, video or audio events are back and forth. That's absolutely true.
Mhm.
I would really like to do my 2-minute tips in the stories format, though.
Right.
I've done a couple of them, but I think it'd be kind of fun to. And I've been thinking about doing reels or stories, and maybe sharing that over on YouTube as well. Like Michael Baker says, he's been watching on YouTube lately. So
Oh, thank you, Michael.
thank you, Michael. Appreciate it. Yeah, some people have been reporting LinkedIn's been a little finicky on some of the things. And anytime that happens, I think that the way I look at it is, okay, they're going through some updates.
Yeah.
That's typically the symptom of an update is, something's funky going on. It's like, okay, it doesn't work like it did yesterday. So it's like, oh, thank you. They're doing an update.
There you go, Kevin.
Positive outcome, right? Problems are opportunities, right?
Well,
You just got to think of it as an opportunity.
right. But again, it's the love-hate relationship about being on the platform here. There you go, Microsoft.
15 to 20 new LinkedIn features per quarter. Microsoft KPI for LinkedIn. That's pretty aggressive. That's pretty aggressive, thinking about how do I maintain the engineering and infrastructure for 15 to 20 new LinkedIn features per quarter.
Yeah.
That's a substantial
amount.
amount.
So again, we know that they have the ability to do some of these things. It's just them taking the time to either build it out and then integrating it platform wide, or deciding whether or not it's worth the time and the effort. Kind of like what I was showing you with my audio events, how it shows up on my.
Oh, we should mention that to Kevin as well. Tell him about what that share. This was fascinating, Kevin.
I'm gonna pull this in,
and he'll appreciate this for his updates. I don't have this feature that Gabe has right now.
I'm gonna go back in here real
and
quick.
It's kind of like I was sad for a moment. I cried a little tear. It's like I had FOMO.
You have FOMO.
Like, I had just a little FOMO, and it's like okay, I don't. Not
I mean,
so much.
For some people, it is pretty useful to use. And I think that as a creator, most people would love to have all these features because they are pretty useful. So let me blow it up a little bit and I'll bring it over to this side. And that way everybody can see and know.
Well, it's interesting what feature will be noticed by different individuals.
Okay, so here I go. I'm going to bring it inside of StreamYard through my Ecamm. Hold on just one second. Change this Ecamm virtual. Okay.
We're nerding out here, folks.
We're nerding out here. Okay,
please stand by.
Please
Nerd
stand
alert.
By. So if you see on my screen now, inside of the live stream, on my side there, you can see this is how my mobile app looks. Okay. And I wanted to show this because not everybody has this, apparently. Now, when I click here on my events, you will see when I click my network here and how to manage that. You see that where it says manage my network, I can go back to this. It will show me like connections, groups, anything else. And then you will see any invitations that I've actually got to attend events. And then you will see right here, audio events for you. And it gives me all these audio events for me to go peruse. So tomorrow we got, let's see, Let's Get Curious About Hydrogen Energy, LinkedIn Audio with Leah, Andy, Liam, and Ariel. Let's see, we have the B Show, Coffee Talk there with Mary Fane Brandt and Miss Laura Bayshore. So we got all these events that show up here. Look, this is like your own little catalog of how I have events here that I can go peruse, and simply by just clicking, simply by clicking on one of the events. So I'm going to click on this one here. It will take me.
That was like the newsletter you had.
Mm-hmm. And that's the only thing about, like, for some reason it's not letting me go directly to. So what it usually does is it takes me to the event, and I can click on it, and then I can click the attend button for any of these events that I want to go follow. Right. So yes, this is essentially a catalog of all the audio events that they have, that people either have created or that they're, sharing. I don't know exactly how LinkedIn is actually coming up with
it'd be interesting to see what the algorithm looks like.
Yeah, what this is and how they pull all these events into a location.
Kevin says, I love that you can show your mobile app during a live.
But this is how it looks when I go back and look at my recommendations. It gives me this there, and then I also, for like people that I might want to follow, of course, a lot of these other things as well. But then it gives me like people, again, it'll tell me how to, like, individuals, and I might want to follow based on things that I've checked out in the past.
Right. And some of these shows are a weekly show. Mm-hmm. So,
and my thing is, I don't know. See, Liz has a question there. I don't know how exactly you get these events listed. Again, I don't know if they pull this up on their own. I have no clue how LinkedIn pulls this in here. But I guess if you just create an event, it might be able to let you know that it'll populate in there. I'm figuring. I got no idea. But
so what's the best way? This is Liz Lawless was saying, I get notifications early on. Then there's sometimes I try to find a live and you can't find it in her feed. Just wanted to catch Russ Hedge consistency panel, but couldn't get to it.
You want to know why, Liz? Because there's not one of these right here.
Yeah.
So we don't have a catalog.
There's no catalog. There's no access
of our
to
own
it.
Live stream. So this is why the newsletter was pretty important and why we wanted to launch it, because I'm going to go back and show you guys like why I used to love putting this together and why it was pretty important. So if I go back here and you're watching all this live, folks, there's no safety net. There's nothing here. So I have all my live stream shows that I've been doing lately.
This is live.
This is live. Absolutely. But this is where I used to love creating the calendar. Let me go back and pull one. Okay, here's a good one. The live streams. This is what the live stream guide used to look like.
Yeah.
So when I would go down there and you click on the live stream guide, it'll take you here. Okay, this is, again, compared to what LinkedIn was creating and what I was creating on my own, this is what your guide would look like. Notice something very similar. So you would actually get the text to go along with it, right?
Well, it looks like what they've done is abbreviated the description.
But here's where mine was different, and what they're doing is not, again, very helpful in my opinion. I haven't done this in 4 months. Mm-hmm. I still have a catalog of all these live streams simply by using this newsletter. Watch this. If I ever wanted to go watch the replay of this individual stream, or let's just say the first one I was looking at here. If I wanted to go watch any of these streams here and I'm going through and I say, I got to find the one that Kevin Turner did one. I got to find it. And I got to see what he was talking about. And I got to go learn what he was sharing. All I have to do now, look at this, click of an image. I'm just clicking the image. I'm not doing anything else. You guys can see this on my phone. I'm going to do it on this side so you see what I'm talking about. And you'll see it happen on the screen live. It's literally me just going, click. There's the replay. Already saved.
Yep.
I just cataloged all these live streams and all these replays into one individual place. And it was simply as a click of simply clicking the thing. And the thing is, I made mine more more
User friendly.
user friendly, because if it wasn't the image you wanted to click, there was also the link you could click. What's that?
Either one.
Either one. There you go. There's the live stream again.
Yeah.
And these things were saved. So you can
Going
always
back and finding that, Liz, would be a simple process.
Exactly.
However, I just want to frame this correctly, because also, Gabe, it took hours of time to assemble this on a regular basis, because it's still assembled in a newsletter with links that you had to go search and discover.
But my thing is like the technology's there because it's not linked. How's LinkedIn putting together all these other events?
Right. Oh, the technology is there.
It's just
It's
like
a database. You got,
that's all it is.
you got show IDs, you got, event types, you have all of the tools necessary to put
So
that together.
LinkedIn, if you want to reach out and want to learn how to build this out, let's talk. I can help you like streamline this and make it more of a accessible feature for live stream creators. At some point, because again, you're going to be integrating live video, even it's in the form of an event.
Well, you could do it for any type of event actually,
Anything.
right?
Anything.
Yeah.
And see, that's the thing. Like I said, I can go back here and it's the whole reason, like all these other ones here, they're cataloged for months and months on end.
So like Liz, who does the author adventure, we do the author adventure on Tuesdays at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 5 p.m. Central Time. We could do that show on a catalog on a recurring basis. And we could do the Wild West Diversity Show on Thursdays, same time on Thursdays, and put that in the catalog and make it easy to access from your website or from your profile or from anywhere.
Exactly.
Creating that newsletter. Yeah.
And that's
so those are the kinds of things you have to think about outside the box, like a pirate. You have to kind of think about, okay, well, how can I put this together in a way that people can access this information going forward?
Exactly. And my thing is like, it's why I concentrated on it so much, because I did not see. So just like what Liz's thing was a little bit a minute ago, her other comment, I get notifications early, but sometimes I've tried to find the live and I can't find it. Right.
I can't find it.
I can't find it.
I get notifications, but I can't find
it. But what does that do? You won't have to worry about the notifications. You can just go to the newsletter and say, oh, well, I know it's going to be there at this time. Look, that was the whole thing about it. They had it by time. Everything was there by time, so you could go dig in, look at it. And same way that they were showing you by date, mine was not only by date, by time, but people could go click on it and go, what time is the show? That this was all on Eastern Standard Time, 8 a.m. I know that's at 8 a.m., 8 a.m., 8. And I could plan out my day. Or when is his show at? Oh, Russ's? It was at 10 o'clock. Okay, so there it is, 10 o'clock. I can go click on it. Boom. I can go straight to the event, click the attend button. Bam. It's saved. I don't even have to worry about having to get the notification. I already know it's going to be set there.
Yep.
So, I mean, again, we have the technology, we have the ability to do these things. It's just not getting done.
And I think that's some of the initiatives that we were talking about working through. And the reason we want to expand this is because it's not a one person, not an individual opportunity. It's a community opportunity. And I think especially the value that it brings to the community is immense. However, it does take a lot of time. So if we can actually create a system that allows us to generate that information, just like Gabe was doing initially, then we can actually, many hands make light work. It doesn't require one person to do it, because we can actually do more with it.
Yeah. So like you want to pull up I brought up the slide presentation I showed you. I'm just going to pull up where they can see the actual live stream thing. Okay. So this is what we were talking about and wanted to do the guide again. And I would love ideas for like other creators that are here watching tonight or might watch the replay, like how to help build this out, because I want it to be a fully functional tool and a way to get people the ability to watch live streams, what I love about it. So it's going to be looking at a relaunch date of wanting to put this back out again, where once it relaunches, it can actually be sustainable for a while. Like I was doing it, but again, I was doing it on my own, and I did it for 6 months, and it grew pretty popular, and people found a lot of value in it. I think they still will find value in it.
Do you think there are more live streams now than there was a year ago?
Oh, God. I'm going to tell you now that there is, yes. I see enough live streams now. I mean, simply if you go to the hashtag that I created, LinkedIn live streams, and go there and see how many times people are using that hashtag, you're going to find creators now that have been sharing it more and more. So there's more live stream creators out there. There's more live shows now available.
Yeah.
But people can't gauge this because people don't know. There's
Right.
no way.
It's almost you get to see it by accident, or you get to see it because you know it exists at a certain day and time.
Right. And this is all that I want for putting this back out there. I just want the creator participation in it. So if whatever makes it easier for us to bring all of this information together, that's what we want to do. And then, of course, like we said, we want to build out a template so it'll be easier to create. And then building out the system of how we do the newsletter, and then getting help from you guys, the community.
And Liz says, how do you get an event listed?
That's going to be one of the things we will.
That's one of the things we're going to have to get covered. Michael Baker, efficiency and effectiveness. Absolutely, 100%. And then Liz says, brilliant, but like you say, so many hours to put it together. It doesn't have to be so many hours. No. One of the steps and one of the processes that Gabe had to go through initially was he had to go search for those locations. He had to go search for those lives. And yeah. I think it needs to be turned upside down to where the producers of these lives can turn in, with a simple form, we could actually create something, a system that allows people to, if they want to be listed, here's where you go to get listed.
That's right. That's why I said getting help.
That makes it a lot easier.
Getting help and contributions from the community.
Yeah. We could have a team actually doing this, volunteers to actually contribute, maybe pick up some people, notify people that this is an option and available for them in their live stream. It's a group effort. There's no one right answer. There's multiple pieces of this puzzle. And, after having built many systems over the years and solved a lot of problems, this is solving a problem that, Microsoft could take and say, hey, I'm going to use this as like Kevin said, one of these KPIs that Microsoft needs to insert into their equation is do the same thing that you're doing for audio events with live streaming events.
That's all.
Yeah, that's all.
So that's all we're going to do. And that's the whole reason behind why I wanted to share that is just that, building all this stuff out and then bringing it to, again, from the idea to the concept to actually launching it again and then making it a sustainable thing so that we have a way apart from LinkedIn to get all this information out there.
Jordan says two of my favorites. See, someone like Jordan that knows about writing, he knows about, some of the things that are going on, like a perfect contributor to the events and activities, put the pulse on it. Just say, hey, here's another one. Short message out and say, did you know that you could get listed on an event? Here's how to do it.
Exactly. And that's all. And then, like we said, you'll have a time limit cut off where you're like, hey, you got to submit by this amount of time because this is going to be a daily.
Yeah.
I was doing it Monday through Saturday because Sundays weren't as active as far as in the live streaming community. Now, if I could find more, I wouldn't mind having it do a 7-day thing. But,
or have more contributors
helping to build this out. But the whole point behind building it in the first place is that so we have that catalog and people can go back and like I said, at any one point, anybody can go back to, if you were subscribed to the newsletter, you could go back and find episodes upon episodes of your own. See,
Yeah.
here's the problem. Jillian Whitney mentioned this when I had her on my live show. It's like I have to go search, thousands upon thousands of in my feed to go figure this out where all my live streams are. And whereas you say, well, I know that I used to do my live streams every Wednesday, and I could just go to the guide and simply say that my live stream was listed there, for example. I could just go back every Wednesday. I know the time, and that kind of like hinders your search until LinkedIn makes it easier for you to do that. So, I mean, again, it's just another way to.
I think it's a process, Gabe.
It is.
I really think it's a process. It's an evolution. It's something that I think it's valuable, and I know that it's on both your radar and my radar. And I think that there's a lot of contributors that if they knew that it was an option and an opportunity for them, they would be more than happy to contribute. Yeah. Jordan Thomas. Yeah. Would love to help. Liz Lawless. Awesome.
Okay. So I think the next step for us is just literally planning like a Zoom meeting or something along those lines, or just we can do it in Dub or wherever we can, as long as we can get people who might be interested in wanting to contribute, and just write a post about, hey, we're going to relaunch this. I'm just looking for people who might want to help and contribute. And then we will like just really break down like what the levels of contribution are, whether it's you tuning in events for somebody, or finding other events that fit the criteria. Because the thing is, I want to include as many contributors as possible, but I don't want to spend hours upon hours of searching for them either. So I want people who can turn them in. And in that way, here's the thing. When we discover new people, then we can reach out to them and say, hey, we do this live stream guide. Can you like turn it in on your own for us? That way we teach them the system of how it operates, but we're going to have to, at the very beginning, we are going to have to do some scopes of reaching out.
I already have a way of doing that.
Yeah.
I have it figured out.
Okay, cool. See, this is what I didn't have before. So this is immensely helpful. So, but getting to that point of where, again, where the one thing is to simplify the process, and then get the creators on board to not only contribute their events there, but then for them to also talk about it and market it on their own. Is like, say, hey guys, this is guide. It's incredible. We would love for you to be a part of it. And this is how you can submit. And, just give them a small thing, because again, we're not, look, the way that I created it before, I didn't monetize off of it.
Right.
I didn't monetize it. I didn't want it to be monetized.
Well, it was a community tool that people could use to
that's all
increase the industry, increase the visibility.
That's it. That was the whole point behind it. And the whole point, like, I have other methods to go monetize what I need to do.
The list says happy to market and promote out to people.
But I want it to be able to be seen by other individuals and find it very valuable for, like, to discover somebody like Liz. Like, oh, she's talking about Western history. I love Western history. Wait, there's a live stream that talks about this? Of course there is. But do I know where it was? No, you didn't.
No,
and how can I find it? But now you have the tool to go see. And that is where what I want this to be again. So, yeah.
Well, that's going to be the first step. And the other thing that we're developing together is, producers, producer community. That's, you want to learn how to produce. You want to learn how to improve your production. You want help with pieces of your production, whether it be graphics, collaborating on the content, images, just setting up streams, or, any number of things.
Yeah. Talking about stream software, what they use and how to, what do you use, or how, just kind of like, again,
open up the dialogue. So what we've done is we've actually created a Slack channel. So if you're interested in learning about production, you want to learn how to increase and improve your live streams, your content creation, or your exposure with this newsletter activity, we want to make sure that you have an opportunity to connect and collaborate with us. So I think there's really a huge opportunity, Gabe, for a lot of people to, we can help more people help more people. That's what it boils down to.
Right. And, I do think it's, look, for it to be a professional networking platform, they are leaning into the social aspect of it. So, I mean, they want you to be, they want it to still be a networking platform. They still want it to be business professional, but then they're also wanting, again, creators to create on the platform. So all we're trying to do is just
every platform requires somebody to create something before it's available. It's like we are we're the creators. So, it's like it'd be terrible if we went there one day and all the creators took a day off. It'd be kind of a vacant city.
Yeah. What are you going to do?
Michael, I just want to thank you, Michael, for, absolutely trying to keep it as professional as possible. That's our goal too. We want professional feeds. We want professional outcomes. We want everything that goes along with it. Lead in promos. You guys are great at that. Thank you, Liz. Appreciate the feedback on that, because there's a lot of information, Gabe, that a lot of ideas that we're going to be bringing out, and this show alone, the Pirate Broadcast is based on, the idea that we can do this together.
Oh, absolutely. And it's the whole reason why, like, I wanted to start doing it in the first place, was just getting the ball moving, forward in this direction, because I had, just like you back in February, I had personal issues that I had to take care of. So a lot of the things that I wanted to stream forward with, that I wanted to leap forward with and create, pretty much got put on hold. Yeah. And my thing is, now that life happens, I'm starting to catch up. Then it's doing those things that I had planned originally. And all I've done is just go back and sort of change the little things, adjusted some things, because circumstances are a little bit different. Things have shifted. So just doing that eventually, and then moving forward with a lot of these ideas, and then just bringing them actionably, intentionally put them out there, to finally now building them out and putting them into reality, apart from just them being an idea now. So going back to the guide, going back to the producer group, going back to all these other things that we mentioned, we've touched on them at some point, but we were never able to move forward with it. And I think now is just the time to start doing it. And
now's the time.
Stop talking.
There's a lot more interest, and like we said, there's people out there that are out there willing to contribute. They want to contribute, and they're contributing already. And so if we can gather and support the community in a way that is universal, that we can all work together in the same direction and make sure that we're supporting all of the people in LinkedIn, all the business owners that need more exposure. They need a brand. They need some collaboration. Imagine what it would be like if all of the live streamers contributed to a single goal, and how we could actually make a huge impact in the message.
Absolutely. That's all I'm trying to do, is just make this community a lot bigger, more inclusive, more collaborative, and with a lot more incredible people sharing their own thoughts and creativity. So
and if you want to learn more about live streaming, I created a mini course. You can go to piratsyndicate.com/mini-course, not dash, hyphen. mini-course.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this in the future.
And that's the whole thing about what we want you to do as well. We're not only talking about it, but then we want you to, if you're interested in really learning about it, to put these courses and tutorials out there for you to go discover how to learn what we're doing here now. So
we will teach you what we know.
We will teach you what we know, and how you will actually benefit from doing a actual live stream. And
absolutely.
And that's the whole key for us as live stream creators, is because, again, you helped me get to this point. Here I am now, where now this is like my identity and what I do as a live stream creator. And then, what you've done. I mean, we've got the skins on the wall, the amount of time we've invested in all this, and we just want to forward a lot of our own knowledge that we've acquired over that time and just help other individuals get into this and maybe not make some of the mistakes that we did. So just use
I think it's around pacing too. It's like, let's pace ourselves. Okay. Gabe,
I need to find a roundtable. I'm going to get a live streamer roundtable together of people that you are doing everyday shows and just talk about like what, what were some of the benefits, and then what were some of the things that were, that there were hindrances in creating an everyday live stream. So
just to remind everybody, Gabe's at 25 episodes on his 100
quest for 100
his 100 show sprint.
So I know that I know that of course me and you would be on the list. I think at some point Russ Hedges, even though he's not like he might as well be every day.
He might as well be. He's either producing or not,
Let's see. There was another gentleman named Sean Hill and his partner Tommy. They were doing it for a while. Let's see.
Have to go back to your newsletter and check
there's
it out.
There's a few that were doing it like on every, like even now. Mark and Steve Noodleberg still do this. They do the morning huddle that they do every morning at 7 a.m. It's 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 Central. But I mean, they do this every morning for 30 minutes, and they've been doing it for a while. My friends Jake Jordan and John Hill started their live stream back up again, where they're doing it every morning. So, I mean, I would love to sit down with all these creators and talk about like what were some of the biggest things, the hurdles that you guys used to have as like doing a live stream every day, and then what were some of the things.
Well, I've seen a lot of producers come back and say, "Hey, sorry, I've been gone." It's like I had to take a break.
So
I don't feel alone.
No, of course not. But I think that would be a fun roundtable to have, because
that would be a great roundtable. Let's make it happen.
Because they all know, and then there's and in case anybody's watching, you get the idea of whether or not that would be something, whether you're interested in doing or not, because it's a lot. It is a lot that goes into it. But again, you do find benefits, and you do find things that hinder you. I mean,
well, I have friends all over the world as a result of the Pirate Broadcast.
Absolutely. That's another great benefit.
Yeah.
Apart from just getting in the practice and getting better at it. I mean, it's like anything, you're doing it over and over again every weekday.
Yeah.
So the practice of launching.
I have people ask me all the time, when are you going to start that up again? I miss the Pirate Broadcast every morning. It's like, I may not do it at 7 a.m.
Yeah. Wait, we'll figure if that ever comes to a point, then you got to really look at it, because me and you both know the commitment to it's got to be, you got to be 100% invested in it, because people start. That's why I said you got to do it with an endpoint in mind. That's why I changed it different this time. Instead of just saying I'm going live every Monday through Friday, whatever. I've done this in the past. I'm like, at 100 episodes, I'm stopping.
Just because I can.
It's
not enough yet.
100. Once I get to 100, boom, I know I'll stop and I can reevaluate everything and decide whether.
However, if we can help more people learn about live streaming, support the producer community, make sure, and then the Pirate Syndicate. Still, my goal is I want 100 shows. I want to produce 100 shows a month.
Yeah.
I want to be able to help producers engage with the audience and the business owners and everything else. If that's my initial goal, it's still my initial goal. That's why I created the Pirate Syndicate, to build a community of producers that we could actually engage with business owners and create 100 shows a month, and we can all provide a lot of value to the community. And it's like, why not create 1,000 shows a month? Some of these podcast producers, these networks, Spotify, how many podcasts do they have in their network?
Oh, God.
So it's really, where do you want to go? How far do you want to travel? And it's
Absolutely.
we're at the tip of the iceberg, Gabe. So I really appreciate you jumping on and contributing to this conversation, because it's important, it's necessary, and I look forward to next steps. And the action items we're going to do is we're going to start reaching out to producers. So if you want to be part of this community, make sure that you either reach out to Gabe or myself, get on the Slack channel, or start dialogue. We're going to start doing some activities around, first and foremost, is conversations about what is important to you and what is necessary to define success in your business. And then we want to develop some success criteria that we can use to increase and improve the live streaming community, the live stream business as a whole, and generate a lot more activity in this arena. So really appreciate you being here.
Absolutely, man. So yeah, that's where I think, besides concentrating on what I got to do for the week, for the live show. Let me put this out there. Anybody wants to come on this week? I've had a few guests cancel, reach out to me. And I will,
I'm always open. So
yeah. So if you want to,
I'm not always open, but I'm always willing to contribute to a live stream. Gage.
Exactly. So, reach out to me. We will talk. Believe me, the turnaround is really quick for me to get you all the information, put everything together. Again, it's a system already built in place. It's just really just creating everything and putting it out there. So, reach out to me if you're interested. And I got some dates to fill since I've had a few last minute cancellations last week. So it happens. That's the whole thing. Live stream.
You need more exposure.
You need
call Gabe.
That's right. Reach out. We'll talk and we'll go from there. So,
well, thank you, Gabe. It's been a great hour. It's over an hour, so it's like a great conversation this afternoon.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it. You know me. I'm like you. Anytime I can help contribute and hop on the stream.
Absolutely.
And I'm 100%. Free. Sign up.
100%. So anyway, look forward. I'm going to be doing this every Sunday for the time being, and maybe a couple of times during the day. I actually have tomorrow, same time, I've got Devin James. Devin James and I are going to jump on and have a conversation about, some of the challenges of creativity and some of the things we got to think about as a creator as well. So just know that that's out there. And also, if you're thinking or wanting to be a contributor to the newsletter and the live stream portfolio of shows, shall we say, also reach out to us and let us know that you're
maybe we can bring that into the Slack at some point as well. Like if anybody wants to contribute,
I'll create a channel for it.
Where to go as far as like where you want to, if you're interested in doing that, and then how to collaborate. And like I said, oh my gosh, LinkedIn, Jesus. But LinkedIn has this, kept bouncing me back. Yeah, I know it does. Trust me. I know the frustration. But yes. And that's the whole thing about it, is it's just like getting that where, and I know this is our platform and we love this platform, but we love we love you, LinkedIn. It's just learning how to deal with it. And this is why the whole newsletter is a whole different thing, because it's our love-hate relationship, not getting what we want out of it. So we got to create it. So I feel your pain, Liz, but thank you for absolutely sharing that. And of course, thank you everybody for popping in this evening. And you'll probably see more of me and Russ together. Because we did talk about, we're going to do a show collaboration.
Yes, we're going to do a show collaboration. Absolutely.
You guys are going to get like super value out of that one, hopefully.
All right,
man.
Well, everyone take care, and we'll see you on the next stream in the future.
In the future, folks.
Because kindness is cool and smiles are free.
That's right. Don't forget that.
All right, dude. Take care, man.
Have a good one. You too.